Hi everybody, Jenny here, and it is 2022, and I thought I'd just come online and give you guys a little bit of an update and say hi. I still, every now and again, pop into my YouTube and answer some comments and have a little read through, which is nice. And then for some reason I got a comment the other day, and then I sort of thought, I haven't really looked at anything on my channel for a long time, and I looked and I realised that there were 3 videos that I'd uploaded and I hadn't actually published them. I think because I live quite far out in the countryside and my internet is terrible. So what I would do last year when I started to make some videos was I would make them and edit them, and then I'd have to take my computer to a friend's house and then kind of just like upload them all at once, and then I must have just completely forgotten to publish a few of them. So I just published one last night, which was Minty's little face brush. Trouble is, it was last year, so I can't really remember what the videos are even about. So yeah, so that was a bit silly. But anyway, I'll post those. Anyway, I'm gonna have a cup of tea. I'm gonna drink some baka tea. I actually don't know what language that is. It looks like German, but I don't know why it's in German because I did buy it here in France. Yeah, and just have a little chat with you and tell you about what's been going on in my life. Lemon, ginger, manuka honey. This is my, other than English breakfast, this is my favourite go-to daytime tea. Because it's delicious. And also, I'm going to paint my nails. Oh, just a little tack just went straight in. No, too hot. Yeah, please keep commenting because I do really love to see the feedback. Not necessarily about the videos themselves, but just about, hearing from you, especially. There's quite a few of you diehard ASMR watchers that still watch to this day. I haven't been watching ASMR for a wee while. I think I mentioned this in a previous video last year, but as soon as some of the artists started doing like OnlyFans and things like that, I was like, okay, this has gone way too commercial. And I just sort of, it lost that niche factor, which I really loved. It didn't feel personal anymore. But I mean, I really should have a look and see if I can find any artists, and if you've got any suggestions for me, like someone who does similar things that I do, which is just, chatting with you or doing some sort of, couple of the role plays and stuff, but nothing really high tech would be nice. Because I just don't go out and search them. I've found new ways to fall asleep these days. Yeah, Joe Rogan being one of them, and that's simply because they're like 3 hours long, and for me, I like to hear someone talking. It gives me so much comfort, feeling like I have someone there talking the whole time. There was a lady that I used to follow, Witchy Lady, but she doesn't post anymore, so that's heartbreaking. I've gone through her videos about 7 times. I should really just have a little gander, but I've been doing quite well with Joe Rogan, and then usual sort of crime documentaries or anything to do with fungi and mushrooms, because although I find that really interesting, I'll drift off halfway through, so it's pretty good for me, because otherwise I can't sleep. I'm one of those people that my brain just doesn't turn off at night, and I wouldn't say I'm an anxious person. Well, I wouldn't say that I have anxiety, but at night, like, I'll go to bed and think of all the things that can go wrong the next day. So yeah, I find switching off difficult, which is why I always have to have something to listen to at night. But yeah. So what's new with me? Well, I have my own little business making candles and selling beeswax. I don't know if I told you about that last year, but that's been up and running for a wee while now. And yeah, just the usual same things, drinking lots of tea and gardening. It's October, so my favourite month of the year, but I am yet to put up my Halloween decorations. I'm being a bit slow, to be honest with it. I've got my mother-in-law is coming from New Zealand, so towards the end of the month, but she's quite religious, and she doesn't agree with Halloween, but she's not one of these overpowering people that will just not be in the house. She's okay with it, but I can't really go as far as I'd normally go. Oh, I don't think she'd appreciate sort of ghouly dead things around in the garden, so I will refrain from that. But I put my bats up, and obviously lots of pumpkins. If you can see little pumpkins, they're so cute and squidgy. I bought those for myself. How ridiculous. I follow a shop locally to here. It's like a toy shop, and for some reason I think they obviously had something I wanted to buy at one time, and I wasn't going near the shop, so I followed them on Instagram, thinking, oh, I'll go there another time, and never did. And then they posted a picture of their October window decoration, which had like that one, and then another green gourd. I was like, okay, I have to have them. But yeah, my kids are not very impressed, because obviously my kids are just as pumpkin mad as I am, and they for sure would like to be taking those to bed with them. But they are mine. Yeah, and other than work, I've just been filling my time with cooking and trying out new recipes. It's one of my favourite things to do, and so I've been doing a lot of that recently. And we're still renovating the house, not as fast paced as we were last year, but there've been quite a few changes. And then obviously COVID sort of, well, it's never disappeared, but COVID calmed down this summer, so we went to the UK, which was amazing, because it's been 3.5 years since we went back. And so we did a couple of nights in Oxford, which is where I'm from, and then we went to my parents' house in Hampshire, which was amazing, because my littlest, who's just about to turn 3 on Sunday, he's not been to Granny's house, so that was really fun. But well, it was fun for us, but I think my mum hated it. She's not really a very child-friendly grandmother. Her house is full of antiques and old things, so I think she was just in panic mode the whole time that we were there. And then we went to a festival called Camp Festival in the UK. So it's like, yeah, it's a music festival, and like an activities festival, but it's geared at, it's like aimed at families and people with kids. So there's loads of like fairground rides and really cool workshops for people to get involved in, as well as having, you know, some major bands play. There was like Razorlight and Rag and Bone Man and Sister Sledge, and Joe Wiley's 90s anthems and stuff. And so, yeah, I took my kids and they've never been to anything like that before. So that was really, really fun. Pumpkin mug. Yeah, so that was really, really fun. Really expensive though. So I don't think we'll be doing it next year, but hopefully maybe the year after. And then we went down to Devon, which is where I grew up, and it was magical to take my kids back to where I grew up, because they've not been before, and I had sort of like memories of my childhood there, obviously some good and some bad. You know, I didn't have a great time in high school, so in secondary school. So I was a bit apprehensive to go back, because I kind of even though I come from like a really, really lovely area, I lived in a really nice area, it didn't always come with the best like feeling, because you know, there was a little bit of bullying and teasing and stuff at school, so I was a little bit apprehensive. But to go back there on holiday was amazing, and it just made me realise what a beautiful place it is. So I shall hopefully be going back again next summer. And then we came home, and then a friend of ours rented their house out, so her husband stayed in my house for the summer, because we were away quite a lot of it and we did a lot of camping. And then we went to go and visit some friends in Sardinia in Italy, which was magical, because when I used to work on super yachts many moons ago, and we always travelled to Sardinia for work, and I'd never been there before as a tourist, and we were with some Italians, so it was really nice to see it, and some Italians from there that lived there. So it was really lovely to see Italy properly as a local. Obviously not us being locals, but we went to places that I don't think you would have normally sort of found in the tourist books and stuff, so it was incredible, and I had no idea it was so stunning. There's beaches that are pink, like so, because of all the corals that were all around the island. Coral grows, and obviously as it sort of breaks off and stuff, the red coral sort of goes onto the beaches, gets washed up onto the beaches, so the sand is pink, and there's like little bits of small parts of coral everywhere, so that was stunning. And we taught our eldest to, my eldest daughter is now 11, and then my younger daughter is 5, turning 6 in a couple of weeks, and we taught them to snorkel. Well, my oldest one could already snorkel, but we taught Hazel the little one to snorkel, and that was magical. We snorkeled every single day, and we just had a really simple holiday of just like, you know, sandwiches on the beach and snorkeling in these beautiful crystal clear waters. Yeah, so that was incredible. And realistically, that's all my news. There's not really anything hugely exciting happening. We're going to go to New Zealand in February for 5 weeks. Sorry, it's my tummy rumbling. I haven't had any toast. I usually have a couple of pieces of toast by this time of the day. Yeah, so yeah, we're off to New Zealand for 5 weeks after Christmas in February. And I guess that's a little bit of exciting news. We'll be house hunting out there, because I think we will make the move to New Zealand in the next sort of 6 years. So, and I don't know where yet. North Island for sure, but yeah, I don't know where. So we're doing a bit of a tiki tour of the North Island to sort of get a bit of a feel for what, because we've obviously travelled there a lot as sort of guests in the country. Obviously my husband's Kiwi, but we've never travelled there with the eye of like living there and how far away supermarkets are and how good the schools are and stuff. So that's going to be really fun. And yeah, that is everything that's going on with me. I've started reading again. So if there are any good books that anyone could recommend, because I don't have any English bookshops here, so I can't sort of go in and peruse, and I don't enjoy looking them up online and sort of reading about them online and ordering them. So any suggestions would be fabulous. I just read a book about the slave trade, which was quite long and difficult to get through, because it changed character constantly. So when you first chapter, you got to know one character, and then the next chapter it would switch to like their child, and then the next would be their child and their child and their child. So by the end of the book, you were a good few generations away. But I kind of found that a little sad, because once you got to know a character, you were on to the next one. And although it was an interesting idea and structure of a book, I was very invested in a couple of the characters that I wanted to know more. Yeah, so I'm yet to read Shantaram, and because the movie's coming out with Charlie Hunnam, I am going to have to reread that before I watch the movie, because I hate watching movies before I've read the book, because the book is always better. Yeah, and that's it really. I haven't even got enough to get through my whole cup of tea, but I will film some more videos. I need to find some quiet time. I've been busy with the business, and busy with the kids and things, so my house is usually super loud, and I just don't find the time to do so much of that anymore, but I will. So anyway, thanks again everybody for the messages on the video that I posted last night. It's given me a bit of a nostalgic, sort of inspiration to start to post a little bit again. This is sort of, I envision me popping in and out for the rest of my life. Every year or so I'll put some videos up, and then something will happen, and then I'll be busy again. But it's nice to know that you all still care, and I obviously really care about hearing from you guys too, so it's awesome. Okay.